Now we want to rewrite this code using LINQ. Anywhere you have loops and conditional statements like these, you can rewrite them using LINQ. So let me show you how to do that. First, I want to rewrite this block. I'm iterating over the features collection of the vehicle. So I can type v.features.select. This way we can iterate, right? And here I can add f goes to, and this is exactly like this f we have as this local loop variable. Now I want to use this to evaluate a condition like this. Not vr.features.contains f.feature id. So I basically put this condition inside this lambda expression here. Now let's store the result in a separate variable. Let's call it removed features. And I'm going to comment out these few lines. Now look at the type of this removed features variable. It's an IEnumerable of Boolean. The reason for this is that we use the select method for projections. So here we're getting a feature object and mapping or projecting it to a value that is the result of evaluation of this expression, which is a Boolean in this case. Now I want to replace this with where for filtering, because I want to find the features that do not exist in our vehicle resource object. Now look at the type of removed features. It's an IEnumerable of vehicle feature. Beautiful. So then we can iterate over these objects and remove them from our vehicle. So let's delete the old implementation. Now let's repeat this technique. So here we're iterating over vehicle resource.features. So we can type vehicle resource.features.select. We get an ID, goes to. Now we simply copy this expression here. Let's store the result in a variable called added features. Look at its type. Again, it's IEnumerable of Boolean. So we replace this with where, and now we have IEnumerable of int32. So these are the feature IDs. Now I can iterate over these for each var ID in added features, and then simply copy this line here. Now we can delete the old implementation. Now compare these two blocks together. They both have some similarity. So in the first line, we get the removed features or the added features. Then we have a loop, and then we remove or add an object to our features collection. The only difference is that in the second block, we're dealing with IDs, and we have to explicitly new up this vehicle feature object here. We can make these two blocks more consistent, and this will improve the readability of our code. So on this line, where we get the added features, I'm going to do a projection here. So select, here we get an ID, and we can project it to a new vehicle feature. Set the feature ID here to this ID. So instead of newing up a vehicle feature here, we do it on this line. Now in our loop, we don't have IDs anymore, we have the actual vehicle feature objects. So let's rename this to F, and then we can simplify this to this. Now, if you put aside the logic for determining the removed or added features, these two blocks are very similar. We are iterating over these features and either removing them or adding them. So we're done with implementing the updates. Now I want to get off topic for a minute. Look, what we have implemented here is a great candidate for unit testing. Without unit tests, in order to ensure that we have implemented this logic properly, we have to come to Postman and change these features and click send and scroll down. Or if we have built the entire application, then we have to launch it in the browser, navigate to a certain page, populate the form, click submit, and then do it again and again. It's very time consuming. And the worst part is that every time we make a change in the mapping of vehicle resource to vehicle, we have to repeat all these steps manually. With unit tests or automated tests in general, we can run tens or hundreds of tests in just a few seconds in an automated fashion. Now, our focus in this course is not unit testing, but I wanted to show you a real-world example of where unit testing adds value. So hopefully in the future, when I create a course on unit testing, you will see how we can write unit tests for different parts of the application. All right, next we're going to implement an API to delete vehicle objects.